Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. And just the other day, I did a video on this, and then somebody sent me a video of somebody doing this. Very similar, a little more precise. The way the gentleman did it, he spoke no English, but he, I was able to follow along. So I'm going to take a rectangle, and I'm going to make the rectangle 10. And it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to make it the other one 23. It just seems like it worked pretty good for this scenario. And I didn't have, okay, with the ratio unlocked, type in 23. So now I got a 23 by, we're going to round off the corners by 5 so we get a perfect turn. We are going to zoom in here so you can see better. We're going to take an ellipse and we're going to make it 10 inches with our ratio now back to lock. We're going to select them both and hit P, and then hit L, and then select that, hold down the shift, and Control D to make a duplicate, hold down the shift key to select them both, and hit R. What I did, I moved one to the left and one to the right. Control D to make a duplicate and double click on your rotation and put it in the center. If you have snap to object, it'll be on. You know, I'm not a math wizard, but to go and get it close, we need 300. And sometimes it actually works better. Because sometimes if you try to rotate something that's not, we have not grouped this together. So now we're going to make another one, Control D, move it to this side. And I know it's 60. We'll just turn this to 60. And I hope you see what we're getting here. I'm going to go ahead and take away that line and that line. You know, you can either do that or you can weld the stuff together. So I'm going to use the Smart Fill tool on this case and do that, that, and that. And I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to move this out of the way, and get my 3 pieces, and I am going to weld those together. But then I'm going to take this rectangle, and I'm going to fill it in, and I'm going to move it over, or not rectangle, sorry, triangle. That's the whole key to this. The other day when I was doing this, I was hoping some mathematician would chime in. Well, this kind of does it. Left click, right click. There's no center of that, well, there is a center of that triangle, but if we try to, and see, that's one reason I like the weld tool. I can faintly see that item. Let me back up here. Let me left click, right click. I can't, ooh. You know what, I'm gonna keep going, and there's a better way to do that maybe even combined. You know, I've still got it over here. I very seldom ever move anything away or delete anything. Let's try combining it. I still think virtual segment delete key is the best. I can still see that line. So now, we just did this the other day. We've still got, are these 3 pieces? Yes. Let's give them a black outline. And then combine it. That's going to take up the spot that you really can't see it. It's only showing up because of the fact that I'm now, I think I moved these over with the nudge tool and the idea, so that's good. I'm going to get rid of this one, and I'm going to move that down. If we rotate, let me go ahead and make this blue. And see, you can see the line. Take away the line. There's no center to the, well, there is a center, but look where Corel says the center is. That's not the center. That's the center of the bounding box. So if you'll take a 2-point line and go to the midpoint and then up to this corner. Go down here to the midpoint and go to that corner. You only have to do 2 of them. We're going to Control D and make a duplicate and move this rotation to the center of that. And we're going to rotate it 120 degrees. Control D. Do not yet take away this triangle. We're going to delete these 2 and we're going to work with this one. And we're going to get the interactive fill tool. I just wanted to make sure they fit. And we're going to put some dark over here. I like that blue, so I'm going to use it again. The reason I didn't move our triangle, and see this way we're kind of, it's a different fold. Control D and make a duplicate and rotate it to 120 and then Control D. Now you can take away your triangle. And look at there. I can still see a white line. So your best scenario, if you're going to try this, and next time I do it, I will, is to delete all these lines. Just delete them. It won't take just a second. I think it's because I've got double lines there. You know, I doubled up. Because if you use the Smart Fill tool now, there will be no lines. It's guaranteed because there's no lines to begin with. So if you do this now with the Smart Fill tool, there's no lines, and even when you move it, there's no lines. So do the same thing. Go ahead and fill in your, and then we can get rid of this. Don't ever get rid of it, just change it. Now see, I can see the line between the 2. I'm gonna left click, right click, and just rotate off that one. You know, just do the exact same thing. But here I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna Control D and make a duplicate. Whoop. And I'm gonna rotate from the center of the box, it says. Look what happens. You know, it's not even close. And we need to go to 120. Even though that wouldn't be a bad look. It didn't do it exactly. That wouldn't be a bad, another logo to fill that in. Anyway, this was the goal. And I thank that viewer or subscriber for sending me that email, that link to that gentleman's video. I still like this one kind of, but this one was a lot easier to figure out mathematically. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.